Hey, good morning, traders. How are we doing today? New Year off to a nice fresh start. Today's the 7th of January. It's about 5 a.m. on a Tuesday here. Just looking over yesterday's trades and what we're going to get into this week. Remember, guys, we're looking for 3-to-1 trades, right? And how we're going to find them is really simple. It's 5 steps. We have an impulse leg, right? Price comes up out of nowhere, launches, expands, creates a shelf. This is a 750 tick, so this is a small space. This starts at 9 and ends at 9:28. This is going to take 20 minutes. Scalpers out there, they want it a little quicker, but what are you going to do? Impulse leg creates a shelf. Shelf gets washed, price takes off, comes back, and we enter behind the wash. We're protected by the wash. Not in every case, but in most cases, if price flow is going up, the flow is going down, hiding behind a wash is probably the safest place you can be. In this case, if price pulls back down here, you're down here below the wash, you're still okay. But you're going to have some emotional tug of war because you're now making money and you're pretty excited about life and how you feel about yourself. But then within a few minutes, you're going to feel like, oh man, I've done that. It happens all the time. Happened to me yesterday. Let's talk about it. So yesterday, as I was looking at the chart or trying to size up my day, I posted a couple of things about, hold up, I got to keep the marquee going here. You guys are paying the bills, right? So I got to keep the marquee. Oh, how does this work? I'm not very good at this. I just want to make sure you guys know how to find me. Okay, so yesterday we had this action going on. Now, I had my wash here, right? That's a big wash. See how the drop, couple of daggers down, and then it starts climbing out. It's fine, good stuff. We're hiding behind this one here. Right, you got this guy here. Cancel, just go boom, boom. And then it gives you something to hide behind. Now this is 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. The market's about to open. The market opened right about 6:30, somewhere in here. There's a bar right there. What's that? 6:30, yeah. So there's the opening. I understand the price comes back to the. I get that. I can't get that. I can't do that. I get it, but I don't. Price falls back. People mark out the highs and lows of the day and all that stuff. So, as I'm going to clear this up a little bit. As I'm watching price climb out of here, the thing I notice is how tight it is. It's not like really flowing, right? You've got these weird. There's a wash here. There's a wash here. You could buy here. Hide behind this wash, right? Hide behind that one. Another impulse leg up. Doesn't even make it though. It's just weird stuff. Another wash. More stuff. So I'm making notes of this, and I posted it on the channel. Like just how I don't start trading until about 7, somewhere in here. I wait till after the news, and I'm trading between about 7 and 10, 7 and 11, somewhere in here. So of course, and I realize that price is fluctuating, that price is, I looked at this yesterday. Here's the hourly, right? We had this big drop here. Price comes down in here. We're all within this swing, swing high confirms a swing low, right? Another note that I noticed is that, okay, so, right, so we broke this. Now, I don't know which way price is going. I know the flow's going up. I know the politics right now are crazy. I know that there's stuff going on in the world that makes this thing jiggle. One of the things I kind of looked at after the fact was, and I'm not trading this, guys, but I'm just looking at it saying, okay, here's sellers. They broke the sellers and they started coming out of the whole thing. They could have popped these guys and then drop it down. That's why this business is so hard, dude. You don't know what's going to happen next. That's why you always use a stop, protect yourself. But I noticed all these things yesterday, right? You've got an impulse leg here, goes up, taps on this shelf here. Maybe it's just it was just hard to trade yesterday because I didn't have a clear, it was for me. I mean, maybe you did okay, but I didn't have a clear, this isn't clear. You got a wash here, an impulse, and this big old thing coming down. That's right before, it's 6:45. So that's, it's like the market hasn't really it's just opened and it's trying to figure it out. And as price comes out of here, I'm just going to get rid of this. Price comes out of here. Another impulse, right? And you get 2 or 3 shots right behind the wash here. And that's a good looking wash. That's clean. This one's inside of this thing. And this one doesn't really, So I see the wash here, right? See the wash here. I buy that one. Price starts to take off, pulls back. I got my order down there. I got popped. And then the other one, and this is where I struggle. Not gonna lie. I'm biased toward the upside. And I have I'm really slow to get to the impulse on the downside. I'm really slow to get to the impulse on the downside. I'm really slow to get to the impulse on the downside. Now, I recognize this, and I struggle with it because I know price is, ultimately going up in one direction. I've got a big wash here. I even made a note of it. Like, is this going to hold? Right? It kind of does. But then it fails. So I did a trade, my second trade of the day. The price came off here. I think price came off here. But I'm not doing that. I'm doing this. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. The other way was the right way to do it. Price. So I looked at this. It's exactly what I did. Guys, I'm not telling you I'm the best trader on the planet. I'm telling you, I have a system that I'm trying to perfect. I've been doing it for years, keeps you profitable, okay? But I still make mistakes, right? I have a wash, right? I have a step 4 or step 2, step 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Price is tested. I drop an order right here, right? Right behind this, and I get popped immediately. Cheap stop, cheap stop, cheap stop. And then I'm like, ugh. And why did I do it though? Well, I have a hard impulse down, and this is like in hindsight, I saw this and I'm like, well, geez, Mike, get this impulse down, flip it around, buddy, turn it around, just turn it around. But that's not how I saw it at the time because my bias was so strong to the upside, right? What I see here is price taking this out, took this out, right? Where in this whole thing? I mean, it took it out here, but this never got taken out. So I'm starting to see this. I'm like, okay, this might be, and it's got a nice little V at the bottom. And of course, I look over here and I say, okay, well, maybe, look at everybody else. Everybody else thought the same thing. I mean, you can see how the price action flowed with it. But that was a cheap stop, no big deal. It's just part of the business. Now, what did I do? I turned it around. I said, okay, and I didn't. That was my only trade. That was my 2 dogs of the day. I didn't stick around for the rest of this stuff. I was kind of fed up because I knew that my bias was wrong, and I was down deep in here. I was down in here. 10 o'clock on a Monday. I think I had to go do something too. So I was kind of like, ugh, I like to get my trades done early, right? I want to be done. My perfect day, I'm done by 8. Find something at 7:30. I'm done by 8, California time. But I got to study this stuff. I got to do all this stuff because I got to keep my mind and my body connected. But if I had done this differently, right? How would I have done this differently? That's not a clean looking wash. That's just not, there's a heart up, barely a shelf. It doesn't get you excited. See, this is just kind of, I don't know if it's just coming out of the new year. Things are muddy. People are getting back to the office. I imagine next week's going to flow a little better. There's some news coming out this week. So I don't know. These are all machines anyways. But then you have this, step 1, impulse, step 2, shelf, step 3, a wash. You want to call that a wash? Fine. Call it a wash. Okay. Call it a wash. Step 4, we have our retest of the low. And then you put your orders here. Now here's where you'd struggle. Here's where you'd get, you get just top ticked, just creamed. But you don't know. Nobody knows that's going to happen. Come on. Tell me you are. You're full of it. You're full of it. My mentor, and this is something I've thought about. Is that a better shelf? Is that a better shelf? I think that one's like, you have, sellers, pop, get wiped out, comes down. Yeah, I don't know. My mentor drops it right here. There's a lot of fewer trades, but he gets big. That's a 3-to-1 inside that one. The other one, if you noticed, is over here. Now, I don't know how you run your business. There's an easy 3-to-1 right there. The hard part about this is now you have to say, okay, is this going up or is this going down? The flow is coming down. Sticking with your flow. It's easy to see in hindsight, guys. It's so easy to see in hindsight. But we got to connect the dots forward. We have to look at them backward. We know that price flows, it's like a snake over time, snakes through the market. So anyhow, that was my day. And, I'm just trying to get myself grounded, get myself centered. I've had a couple dogs, last week was a dog week. Here's that that wash from afar. Price just kept, and even took out this guy, right? It's just so ugh. It's hard to trade this stuff unless you want to be in and out, in and out, in and out. And that's stressful too. I've done it, right? Sell here, follow down, out, two ticks here and there. I know guys that do it. A lot of work, a lot of stress. I don't want to be sitting in front of my computer all the time either. You got other things to do if you haven't figured that one out. But notice how just notice something here, right? Notice how these bars are bigger, like at the end, the impulse leg is a little bit, it kind of wipes out the backside of it, kind of wipes out the backside of it. See this thing here? That there. So it comes up, then that one doesn't really do it. But I'm just trying to observe as much as I can and take it into the next trade. Right? This one, beautiful right there before lunchtime. Just give us our 3-to-1. Yeah, right there. Boom. This is on the wrong side of the market, guys. Price comes up here, so the market's closed, right? And we're just going to keep following our impulse. Follow the impulse. With the market, it works out. You just gotta kind of, that one's clean. I like that one. Then you got a little coil. Coil leads to expansion, right? Tight, boom, blows up. Tight, pop. Tight, boom. Goes both ways. Here's a sideways coil, right? Expansion. That's one of the things that I didn't bring it up yesterday. I was looking at it, but look at this. Right? Look at this over here, and I didn't even know where to draw. How do you even draw this, right? It's kind of a coil. It's kind of weird. I couldn't really make it, but it had that coil feel to it, and then it just dropped off. I haven't posted something. Is this thing going to continue? Is it going to go up? I look at this thing. In my mind, of course, that's where I live. I see that's return back to this spot. Turn here, took off, drops. Continuation. Right? Maybe we have a some expansion here. We have an impulse up. Right? We have a weak little shelf. I don't know. Then this stuff, this thing comes into play. That's not the right one. This thing comes into play. Did that wipe everybody out and now we're gonna continue? A lot of things to think about, right? A lot of things to just that's why trading's hard, man. It's hard, and you gotta practice. Best guys I know, they're always going over their trades. What did I miss? What did I get? Why is it this? Why is it that? Right? Look at this right here. Comes down here. I don't even have a shelf in here, but I have this weird wash that comes back, but it comes right back into here. I think on one of these trades yesterday, see, just start over. I think on one of these trades yesterday, I did this. I drew this impulse up, and when I drew my shelf, I looked at these two bars, right? You want to see what they look like on a candlestick? And this is why I look at these other videos, and I watch other videos because I want to see what people are talking about. But I looked at that, and someone's going to be like, that's a buy signal. Why? Because it filled the gap and then it took off. Well, yeah, it's a buy signal for this bar, but not for this whole extension, not for a run, not for what I'm looking for. You have to be very careful about what you're putting in your head sometimes. That's why I always use a stop. I always use a stop. I'm never without a stop when I trade. I have 3 orders: my entry, my target, and my stop loss. Yeah, right? That's the setup, but the problem is the flow's going down. Anyhow, use a stop. Make trades. Make a lot of trades. Thousands of trades, guys. Make as many trades as you can. That's a nice one, too. I wish I saw that then. I wish I saw this. Can I go back to... Oof. God dang it. You really got to want it at that point. That's a trade, though, man. There's your 3-to-1. Right there. Impulse leg down. I'm going to use this for my... thumb. Members get fresh data. Members get fresh data. Fresh updates, I should say. So I'm posting stuff. I'm posting this. If you're seeing this on YouTube, it's old. That's tough. That's really tough, especially at the end of the day like that. That's tough. Because look what happens. Once, the price comes out, it goes up here. And this, guys, this is what I was saying, right? This is what I was trying to do on the other trade. Right? Here's your buy order right here. But price took this out. Right? What are you hiding behind? If you're right here, you're just right there on the bottom. It's kind of weird. Use a stop and trade less, watch more, practice more, all these things. I gotta get a picture here. Let's take a quick picture. There it is. All right, see you guys. Have a good one.